Hello, welcome everyone. My name is Greg McCormick. I'm the director of the Georgia Smart Communities Challenge. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon for today's informational webinar on the Georgia Smart Communities grant opportunity for all communities in Georgia. A couple of housekeeping activities before we get started on today's presentation. Please mute your audio and your video and keep them muted for the entirety of today's presentation. We will be doing a question and answer session at the end of today's presentation, but we will be using the chat area to do that. Please type your questions in the chat area and we will read them and answer them after the presentation is finished. We are recording today's presentation and we will post it to our website. The slides of today's presentation are already posted to our website and you can access them at any point. So again, welcome. My name is Greg McCormick. I'm the director of this challenge. My email is shown there on the page. You can email me individually with any questions that you have about this grant opportunity. I'll be happy to answer them. Or you can use our group's email address there at the bottom, scii@ipat.govtech.edu, and they'll get funneled appropriately to the right person to get answered. We hope you sign up to listen to our Twitter account or become a follower there. We have a lot of great information that we send out through Twitter on a daily and weekly basis. And then on the left is our main webpage, smartcities.govtech.edu/GeorgiaSmart. Please go there and learn more about the challenge through that website. There's a lot of great information. There is a dedicated 2019 challenge page as well, and I'll give you that link later on in the presentation, but you can get to the 2019 challenge page from our homepage, which is shown here on the presentation right here. So this is a grant opportunity. It's called the Georgia Smart Communities Challenge. It's an initiative of Georgia Tech, as well as a number of partnerships through organizations throughout the state. It's a grand challenge for communities of any size in the state of Georgia to receive funding and technical support to help drive your community forward in the area of smart cities, innovations, and technologies. We're hoping that this opportunity helps to spur smart community and smart city development throughout our state and will eventually position Georgia as a leader in smart cities and smart communities. So this year's opportunity was split in half. The first was a direct partnership with the Atlanta Regional Commission and their Livable Centers initiative. We partnered with them to do an LCI with Georgia Smart opportunity, and that was for Metro of Atlanta communities. And you would submit your proposal directly to the Atlanta Regional Commission. Proposals have already ended. They were due on the 29th of March. However, you still have an opportunity to apply directly to the Georgia Smart program through Georgia Tech, and that opportunity is open to all Georgia communities. The grant funding for Georgia Smart is provided by Georgia Power, and we really appreciate their partnership. The areas of topics that you can apply to for Georgia Smart are in smart mobility and smart resilience, and we'll talk more specifically about the use cases that we're asking you to work into your application here in just a minute. So what do you get as part of this opportunity? You get a $50,000 grant to your community. You'll get a direct partnership with a Georgia Tech researcher who will be performing research on some aspect of your project that's directly related to it. You'll get to work with that professor and their team, whether it be grad students or other researchers in their team, to get expertise in helping to move your project forward. We'll be providing 3 supporting workshops to you and your team to bring you various expertise in smart communities and smart cities ideas and knowledge, and those will be at Georgia Tech in Atlanta. We'll also be engaging with your community through our student population here at Georgia Tech through various partnerships. This year for the 2018 challenge teams, they've been given summer student interns as part of the Smart Community Corps, and they're also getting a team of student data scientists to work specifically on data aspects of their projects, and that's part of the Civic Data Science Initiative. Lastly, Georgia Smart will host one event in your community to help drive your project forward. We'll work with you to determine what that event should be and how we can best assist you in moving your project ahead. Shown here are all of our partners for this initiative. Georgia Power and the Atlanta Regional Commission are our funding partners, and we really appreciate their support. And the other organizations below the line there are supporting organizations, regional municipal associations and chambers, and planning associations, and we really appreciate their support and their membership as well. So this is the second year of this initiative, and we're really happy to be able to support this initiative for a second year. Over the first year of this initiative, we're really happy to say that we reached about 2/3 of the population of the state of Georgia through the representative governments that represent those regions. Shown here on this map by the pins are showing the regions, the cities and the counties of their governments that have reached out to us, that are interested in this initiative, that have come to our workshops, that have come to our webinars, our planning sessions to learn more about this opportunity and about smart cities, technologies, and knowledge in general. Also shown on this map are the 4 winning communities from the 2018 Georgia Smart Communities Challenge: Gwinnett County, the city of Chamblee, Chatham County, and the city of Albany. And those 2018 projects have been phenomenal. We're really, really pleased with how well these communities are doing in these projects throughout the past 8 months or so, 7 months or so, about a little over halfway through these projects. They've held numerous stakeholder engagement meetings with their communities and with other organizations in their communities. We also have had I'm sorry to interrupt, but we just had someone new join and their audio is not muted. If you could please do that, that would be really appreciative. So we've also had numerous new partners to these projects join, a lot of different city organizations, schools, and they've come together to join these 4 communities and their projects. Really happy that this has been a kickstart to these communities to bring organizations together in the Smart Cities domain. Now, this opportunity here, the Georgia Smart Communities Challenge, is a 1-year grant challenge at $50,000, but we're hoping that this project doesn't just end after a year, and we'll work with you to help move this project forward by trying to help find opportunities to continue the work in these projects. The 4 projects from 2018 have already pursued over $15 million in other grants and proposals for future related projects in future years. And we're really, really pleased to give you that number. So opportunities do exist, but this project or this grant proposal in particular is really a kickstart to get your community introduced to the concept of smart cities technologies and to help educate you in the space and to get a project started that will help you move in the right direction. So we've been trying to do a lot of outreach as part of the Georgia Smart team. We've held numerous webinars with hundreds of views of those webinars. We've had 3 Georgia Tech professor webinars to educate the public and local governments about smart cities technologies. We have a large subscriber network to our monthly newsletter that goes out. Over 2,000 people are getting our newsletter every month with informational articles. We've had over 30 speaking events, and lots of attendees at these events have come, including about 150 people at our most recent workshop a week and a half ago. So this is really putting Georgia on the map, and we're really happy to be part of that. Georgia Tech, is really pleased to be starting this initiative. We're known in Atlanta, but we want to be known throughout the state of Georgia as well. And we really think that this opportunity, the Georgia Smart Communities Challenge, is a huge opportunity to reach the smaller and medium-sized communities out there in the rest of the state and to help bring the knowledge and the expertise that's focused here at Georgia Tech and to spread that out into the rest of the state. So some more details about the challenge itself. Your proposal will be a written document comprising of a project narrative, an execution plan, a budget, and any supporting documentation that you would like to provide. The proposal and the project will be led or must be led by a local government in Georgia. It cannot be led by a nonprofit organization or a industry group. It needs to be led by a local government. Your project must also have an established Georgia Tech research partner, either an academic professor or a GTRI researcher. And you must make that connection with those individuals before you submit your application. That person, when you partner with them, will help you to formulate the research section of the proposal, which is a required section of the proposal when you submit. We have a list of researchers here at Georgia Tech that are ready to field your emails and calls and partner with you. And I'll later in a few slides show you how to access that list of academic and researchers through our website to go through that list and learn to read through and find out who's a relevant researcher for you to reach out to, depending on your project topic. And lastly, this is a grant challenge, but we're also requiring that your community provide matching funds in the same amount as the grant, so $50,000. However, up to 80% of that $50,000 can be in like-kind services and donations and volunteer hours and things like that. We are requiring that 20% or more be in direct cash contributions to the project. So here's the timeline. Back in January, the Atlanta Regional Commission LCI with Georgia Smart proposal all call opened. We made our call for the Georgia Smart portion of it opened in the beginning of March. We had our Georgia Smart workshop on the 29th of March, which was an informational session about this opportunity, as well as a proposal planning opportunity. And then today is the 11th, so this is the informational webinar. And then you have until May 3rd to write your proposal and submit it. Proposals are due on May 3rd at 5 p.m. So we'll be judging all proposals during the month of May, and we'll make announcement of winners in mid-June. Then projects will kick off at the beginning of September. So again, important dates. Proposals are due May 3rd by 5 p.m. The proposal submission portal can be found on our website, and I'll show you the link to that in just another slide or two. Project winners will be announced mid-June, and your one-year project will initiate in early September of 2019 and end in early September of 2020. So the website that I spoke about earlier contains all the information about this challenge can be found here on the page at smartcities.ipat.gov.edu/2019 Georgia Smart Communities Challenge. So please go there, read through all the information. There's a lot of useful links there on the right-hand side. And I can show you here. So we have the program guide, which contains all the terms and conditions and all the details that you need to know in order to apply for this grant. There's also an application template Word document that we're asking that you download and use to complete your application. It has all the necessary sections laid out, ready to go. So you don't need to worry about creating that template. And then when you're ready to submit, there's an application portal area, the green arrow there pointing to how you can get to that. So when you click on that, you'll go to our application portal, which I'll show you in another slide, and all the necessary information that we're asking for on that. So if you have questions, you can obviously email us directly, or you can fill out the form in the Ask a Question form on the FAQ page. However, there are a lot of already answered questions in a lot of detail here in the FAQ area. So please do reference that and read through that and see if your question gets answered in any of those questions that have already been asked and answered there. And if not, please do reach out to us. So some questions that have come up that I do want to make clear is you can collaborate on more than one proposal as a government or as an organization. However, you can only be the lead government on one proposal that you submit. A specific government could not submit 2 proposals as the lead government. We also are requiring that your lead government supply a letter of understanding from a very high-ranking official within your government, such as the mayor or the city manager, city CEO, council president. And we need that because we need to know that your project has the support of the local government. And we're also requiring that because there's the match, the local match contribution that's required. So we need to know that your city or community can provide that match. And lastly, for the 2019 challenge, projects must be in the areas, topic areas related to mobility and resilience, smart mobility and smart resilience. And they must fall within one of the required use cases that's defined in the program guide. But those use cases are also defined here on the right-hand side of this slide. And they should be in the areas of safety and security, traffic and ITS, parking, electric vehicles, smart lighting, digital signage, infrastructure resilience, or other creative uses for lighting poles. So lastly, I mentioned the Georgia Tech Research Partnership. This is a great opportunity for you as a community to get direct access to an academic or researcher here at Georgia Tech as part of this grant opportunity. And the 2018 communities have gotten a lot of great use from their research partner here at Georgia Tech. So that list you can get to from our homepage. If you scroll down to the bottom, you can see these 6 boxes here with the research experts, the link to the Smart Communities Challenge page itself, the events, news center, other areas. But click on that GT Research Experts box and you'll go to the listing here on the lower left-hand side of all the research partners that are ready to have you reach out to them to talk about your project topic and see if they're a good fit to become a research partner for your project moving forward. You can also get to the researchers link in the useful links area of the 2019 Georgia Smart Communities Challenge main page. So when you are ready to submit your application, you will need to upload it as a PDF document. So you downloaded the Word document template, you filled it out, save it as a PDF, and have that ready to upload. We're also asking that you give us the proposal title, lead government, any collaborators or partners on your project lead, individual, their contact information, and then your Georgia Tech research lead and their contact information. And that concludes the presentation. So again, you can reach us through the email address shown on the page. Please follow us on Twitter. And then the homepage for the Smart Cities and Inclusive Innovation Group here at Georgia Tech is shown there on the slide. And so I'm going to back out of the presentation and go to the chat area, and we're going to open this up for questions. I'll field any questions that you have. Okay, great. So first question, I'm a New York University-based engineer who's interested in this program, and I work with a researcher at Georgia Tech. Is there any way I can help? Great question, and thank you for being interested in this opportunity. Currently, because you're not located here in the state of Georgia, currently we're not able to have you involved. However, that is something we'll definitely consider in the future. Next question, what is the process for establishing a Georgia Tech researcher? Or rather, is there a particular process that we need to follow? So there's no particular process. We had some Georgia Tech researchers at our workshop a week and a half ago on the 29th, and you were able to connect with them that day in person. However, right now, your best bet is to reach out to the researchers through email. All of their email addresses are supplied with their detailed biography on our website. So I ask that you base your decision on who to reach out to on the topic area of the project that you're planning on proposing, and read through that list of biographies and try to find a couple of researchers that you think would be able to supply you expertise in the areas of your project, and then reach out to them through email. If you're struggling to make connections, please do reach out to me, and I can try to help you navigate the process of connecting with a Georgia Tech researcher. Obviously, there's a significant number of researchers here at Georgia Tech, and we can reach out to specific groups to try to make connections for you. Next question. If a community wins one year, are they able to apply for the next year? Yes, the answer is yes, you can. There's no restrictions on that. So if you reside in Gwinnett or Chamblee or Albany or Chatham County, you can propose a project to this year's Georgia Smart Communities Challenge. There are no restrictions on that. Next question. Is there a page limit or a graphic limit to the PDF attachment that we upload? Yes. Within the program guide, there are very specific requirements for the application itself. So please do read that program guide. The terms and conditions and the application information are in that guide. I believe we set a page limit. It might be 10 pages. It might be 15. I don't have that number off the top of my head, but it is in that document. However, you can attach supplemental information to that PDF, essentially pad your pages with pictures or images or maps or other relevant information that you'd like to present to us, and there's no limit on that additional information. So that's all the questions that I have currently in front of me. I'll give everyone another couple minutes to please type in any questions that you do have. But overall, I really appreciate everyone for attending this afternoon. And if you do have additional questions that we were not able to get to today, please do email me individually or our group at the email address presented here in the presentation. I'll be happy to answer any of those questions for you. So again, thank you so much for attending today's webinar on the Georgia Smart Communities Challenge. We hope your community does decide to apply, and we hope to hear from you. And again, we're happy to answer any questions that you do have. Thank you very much. That ends today's presentation.